So we're live. Hey everyone, how's it going? God Gamer here. Alongside Blue, we're doing commentary for the race of the century between Lepfan745 versus Lepbo547,
In
aka
other
Gwonkee
words,
versus
Skate
Skate
Queen.
King.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So this is going to be a really awesome match because they're both top three runners in the category, and they're both absolutely goated at the game. They're on another level than everyone else, so it's just super exciting to see these players up against each other. Really excited. How do you feel, Blue?
I'm feeling good as well. I've been a little out of the any percent loop, so I think this is possibly the best ever way to get back into it. um,
Definitely.
but yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty close match, given that their PBs, as you can see on screen, are only a second apart. Uh, so we're
Yeah.
we're getting the very top of the top when it comes to skill here.
Yeah.
Not to hype it up too much, but you can
The top.
expect a cool match, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is going to be really competitive, so I'm super excited because like the top three, they're all within 8 seconds of each other's PBs, right? And these two players specifically just within 1 second, so they can pull out some really fast times.
Yeah, it
It'd be
really has
really,
been a
really cool
while
to see.
since it really has been a while since any percent has been this competitive at a top level. You know, for a while it was just Pest at the top, and then everyone else trying to like catch up to him. But now with the recent explosion, and I think partly due to this tournament, you know, we're really seeing some top level competition with world records coming in like relatively frequently for this category,
Yeah,
and
literally
that's super awesome.
any of them could get world record at any point, which is just really awesome because like there's never been this level of competition at the top level in all like 5.5 years that the game's been out. Like people have just kind of traded world records like every few months, but there's just been this huge burst of activity and players grinding the heck out of the ILs, and it's just so awesome to see this much activity in the category.
Yeah. So I think we're almost ready. We're gonna check with the runners if they are all prepared. Let's see. I'm gonna ping them both. Oh, that's the wrong channel. Sorry.
So yeah, we were talking beforehand, and we were wondering whether Skate would actually be doing the single fireball skips or not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like little things they can do to save like a fraction of a second, but if they fail the trick, then they're going to be losing like 5 to 10 seconds potentially. There's just a lot of little things like that in this category. So but it's also things that they need to do because their times are so optimized that they need those small time saves. So it's kind of like which ones do you do and which ones don't you do?
Yeah, we're at a point where pretty much everything is a risk reward because you have to be doing everything with good execution, not just like the tricks in the boss fights. It's like basic movement is now
Yep.
the new playing field of time save, so to say.
Getting perfect dashes everywhere, getting perfect wall jumps. Like
And
you
it
need to think about
seems like
everything.
they're starting, aren't they?
Ooh, at least skate started.
Yeah. Think we're a little delayed on the streams here, but it seems like Skate has begun.
Let's see how this goes. I'm also excited, of course, for the Raptor skip because I don't like. I'm pretty sure they both do right side, and that's just such an insanely difficult trick to pull off. So like, if they miss it, it's a really huge time loss. Like, there's so many ways that the run can swing, even if someone gets behind. Like, someone else might make a mistake later. You know?
Hmm. Especially when they're trying to keep like such an aggressive playstyle. Like I don't think any of them are going to be playing particularly safe because they know that they need every single second, every single centisecond, millisecond even to get an
Yeah.
upper hand on their opponent. So
Especially like
expect chaos and a lot of precision with these
Yeah,
strats.
yeah, especially because their times are so insanely close. That like definitely puts a lot of pressure on you because you know you need to perform, and if you don't, then you're gonna potentially lose the race. Nerves are a really huge factor.
Yeah. So both of these players are coming into this tournament, this particular tournament match with a 3-0 score. So they have not lost a single match. So one of them will come out of this going 4-0, and the other will unfortunately lose. So it's a little bit interesting that they actually got matched up this early. Skate having
Yep.
a little bit trouble with the Gruzzer drop there. Pretty unfortunate stuff.
Yeah, getting hit that high up in the mid drop is really unfortunate because you have to hug the left side of the center drop. Otherwise, you'll get hit by the tick tick later on. And Skate just kind of made a little mistake there. But it's looking fairly even so far. Of course, we have the delay on Gwonkee's stream, but they're both like a few seconds behind. Just like probably start of run nerves, but you know, I think as they get into it, they'll start to warm up a little bit.
Yeah, I think Gwonkee, she definitely had a few stumbles in King's Pass, but it does seem like she's getting into the flow of it now. Same thing with Skate. I remember back in 2021 when we did the All Skills tournament. My only personal experience with speedrunning tournaments, and it is pretty stressful. You know, you're starting out, you know, you're like, oh, this has to be good, and kind of freaking out a little bit. So I can't really imagine what it would feel like if you're facing someone at like the exact same level as you in terms of skill.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I know going into it, Gwonkee said she was nervous. Of course, like, they're both nervous. I would be really nervous as well.
Yeah, if you're not nervous here, then I don't know what gets you nervous, honestly. So we do actually have timings here from Rix in the chat. Thank you, Rix, by the way. Skate seems to be about 3 seconds ahead going into Crossroads, which is the most recent timing. So has
Skate
a
had
little bit of the upper hand, but also
Yes.
did miss up the Gruzzer drop, so...
Skate had a pretty chill false night. So does Gwonkee, so that's good. Oh, never mind, I cursed it.
Yeah,
Got
the
big
mean
long
back jump.
Yeah, that back jump is going to lose a bit of time. Not a lot that you can do if False Knight like decides to jump backwards. It's just like punishment for no reason. So, fun stuff.
Yeah, it seems to be around a 333 Vengeful Spirit for Skate. Pretty understandable given the circumstances of nerves and all that stuff. And Gwonkee's probably going to land around the same range.
But like, if you get those slow times early on, it kind of like lessens the pressure. So it might be good for them moving forward.
That's true. I mean, looking at that same thing from another perspective, it could also just make you spiral and freak out even more.
That's not going to happen.
I certainly relate. But we're gonna hope, you know? We're gonna have a positive outlook, and we're just gonna hope that it's gonna drive them into going God Gamer mode, so to say, for the rest of the run.
Yeah, they're gonna go God Gamer mode for sure, and it's a super even time, both 333 Vengeful Spirit, so very even so far. But a third
Getting a
spit for
nice...
Skate?
Oh, I thought that was the first one. I just wasn't paying attention. Too much going on.
Understandable.
Yeah, so the Baldur RNG might be a prominent factor to determine like who turns up ahead. Gwonkee getting a first spit there. That's really lucky for her.
Yeah,
it's gonna save her a bit of time.
The Baldur spits are actually pretty big in this category nowadays, especially like in races when you can't reset. So not something that they can't overcome, obviously, but it is significant for sure.
I mean, a first and a third spit is relatively close, so I don't think it's going to be too hard for Skate to recover that time.
Yeah, definitely.
But it does certainly put some pressure on him, for sure.
Ooh,
Unfortunately, he
missing.
also misses the fireball skip. That's a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a few seconds of time lost.
Luckily, that one does have a nice, like, just moving along recovery along the bottom.
Yep. Will Gwonkee get it?
She
And she
gets it.
gets it.
Nice.
Very nice. Now, Skate might actually go for the single fireballs. He does have a lot of soul right now, so maybe not. But knowing how his early game's gone so far, he might want to take the risk. We'll see. Going into the second fireball skip right now.
A nice
Okay.
2 fireball. Very understandable. The jump wasn't really that lined up for a single spit. A single fireball. I keep mixing up the boulders and the fireballs. I do this all the time. But what is really interesting about Green Path to me is it really looks quite similar when you're playing at like an optimized level and then at this level, which is a whole bit above that,
Mhm.
so to say. But
One
there's
of
so
the
many small things just trying to not slow down, like, at all.
oh,
Ooh, Gwonkee unfortunately missing the second fireball skip. Gets a
oh
nice 1 fireball to back it up. That's going to
yeah,
even the playing field a little bit between Skate and her.
yeah, getting the single fire backup is pretty nice. Was really quick on the recovery, so didn't lose too much time there.
I think for tournament reasons, I'm probably guessing that both of them have practiced backups a whole lot. Perhaps even, like, about as much as they've practiced the optimal strats. Because, you know, when you're under pressure and stuff like that, you're gonna mess up, and that happens. So it's all about how do you recover that? How do you, like, get past the realization that, oh shit, something went wrong,
Yeah,
and, like, trying to fix it as quickly as possible.
yeah. Skate going into the Moss Knights does get the right side spawn on the, or the right movement on the second Moss Knight, so that is a little time loss. We'll see what Gwonkee gets. Also the right Moss Knight. So they both get bad RNG on the Moss Knights, but that just keeps things even, so that's perfect.
Yeah. Good for us. Good for the viewers.
Yep.
Perhaps a little bit frustrating for both of them. But they don't know that the other has also gotten bad RNG, so.
Yep. And going into Hornet, this is one of the things that runners have like really optimized a lot nowadays, and Skate getting a nice double. It's one of the main like, oh, another double. Very
Wow.
nice.
That was very cleanly played.
It's one of the things that these runners have optimized so much, I find. Like it's one of the big differences between like a good green path split and a mediocre one. Oh,
Yeah, I'm noticing now from the difference between, like, now and a year or so ago, that they're really lining up the doubles and stuff like that, trying to make sure that Hornet is never that far away, even if we
yep,
push her away.
yep. Yeah, with like up slashes so as to like not knock her back. And really just getting every double that they have the opportunity to get. This is super even still. 801 dash quit out. Thank you, Rix. They are neck and neck. This is awesome.
Yeah, they're extremely tied here. Now, unfortunately, both of them have made some mistakes, which is very understandable, let me just say that. But lucky for us, you know, they've made about the equal amount of mistakes.
Yep.
So we're getting a nice... Unfortunately, the stream itself isn't all too lined up, since they started at different times. But that at least gives us the proper opportunity to, like, look a little bit deeper into both of the streams when it comes to doing strategies and skips and stuff. All of the
Yeah,
important parts.
definitely. It is kind of nice to like be able to watch both their Hornet fights separately.
And there is a little bit of a load difference as well, I'm seeing in the chat, which means that the streams will probably line up a little bit closer, even if they stay even time-wise.
Okay. Skate going into the explosion pogo. Looks like he's going to be doing fireball e pogo.
Ooh,
Nice,
very
gets it.
well executed.
That e pogo is pretty tricky. Gwonkee's also going for it. Oh, oh no. Doesn't get it.
She's quick to recover from the shock, though, and gets a nice second try back up. best
Yep.
thing to do in the circumstance.
That's gonna be a pretty big swing in the times, but not something that she can't recover from.
Does a
Gets
very
Mantis
nice
Pogo.
Mantis Pogo, though.
Yep.
Also, I guess we should mention it if you haven't been keeping up with the tournament and any percent in the last little bit. The most notable change in the route that's happened is a rework of the Geo route. As you saw, they did the Moss Knights a little bit earlier, where we used to do the Vengefly King for Geo. So Zote finally gets to die in this category. A big win for everyone, except
Definitely.
for Zote, I guess. Especially a big win for Vengefly King, who gets a nice bit of lunch.
Nice snack.
Yeah. But the main difference is how their runners are going to be tackling the shopping with Lem, and how they're going to be moving around the city before and after the Watcher Nights. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more when it comes up. But right now, we're just enjoying some crossroads movement. Both of the runners are trying to get to the Blue Lake, and on the way they're buying the stag for later.
Yeah,
Pretty standard stuff.
no major hiccups in the split so far with either runner. It's just kind of like a basic movement split and soul routing. So you need to get 6 hits of soul before you get to Grandmother. And they're both just executing pretty well.
Very, very smooth Grandmother fight from Skates. And let's see how Gwonkee's fight goes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, missing the pogo. Not a big deal, but still a small little time loss.
Very good recovery, though. Sometimes when she goes up, it's really hard to catch her. And you just have to
Yeah.
be, like, right on her with those pogos.
Yep. They use this nail setup where they start slashing like right after the second rumble from Grandmother's tummy, and you just do like 7 or 8 slashes, and then you can instantly jump up and cast a fireball. So it's just kind of like a timing setup. Really interesting how runners have come up with like consistent setups just do these little tricks, make them a
Yeah.
little bit more consistent.
It's really cool how we found ways to, like, just use the things that we can naturally get a feel for the time for, things that can be done consistently, like swinging your nail, because swinging your nail in Hollow Knight has a bit of a buffer, which allows you to, even if you mess up the input slightly or do it too early, you can still have the upper. Ooh, gets a
Oh,
shade
shade
fireball.
fireball! No.
But
And that
that's one of the things that makes nail hits and dashes and stuff like that really good for timing.
Oh, Skate also missed the Walkling storage, so that gives Gwonkee an opportunity to get some time back, and Gwonkee gets
Ooh.
it. This is getting more even again.
Sorry, I have to do the joke. It's me, Lake. Oh my god, it's me, Lake. No way.
It's Blue Lake. But
We're
yeah,
getting such a close match, though.
yeah, the Dream Nail segment is actually way more swingy than you'd expect because of all the RNG, the shade skip, like because of shade fireballs and the Walkling storage as well. So I imagine they'll be within a couple seconds of each other if the Dream segment is equal. Then we'll be going into the Chandelier split. Really excited. There's even been optimizations in the Dream segment. Not super recently, but Pest Plats is something that runners do now. Not sure if they both do it, but it's just like a small little thing. And you even with the first jump and dash onto the platform, Gwonkee gets it perfectly. Skate had like a small corner correction, which is when you dash into a platform or onto a ledge, and the game you're not quite high enough, so the game wants to correct your height level. And if you don't dash quite high enough, it'll try to corner correct you, and that just takes a little bit of time. So runners try to avoid even small, tiny time losses like that. And it's crazy that that's become a thing that runners optimize now.
Yeah, the scariest thing about the Dream Nail split in particular, I've always found at least, is the very first platform where runners dash into it as it spawns, which
Yeah.
lets them get pushed up so that they don't have to cling the wall there. And it's like a half a second time save, but it's also quite precise. Another thing that they do kind of time with nail hits. Um, Once
Mhm.
again,
Oh, walkling storage time. Will they
let's
get
see
it?
it.
Oh,
Ah,
skate
didn't
misses.
get it.
Oh, and Gwonkee misses too.
And lucky for us, the streams are lined up now.
Yeah, they really are. And yeah, they're within 2 seconds of each other coming out of the Dream Nail segment. So super even once again. Did not expect, like, you don't expect races in Hollow Knight to be this close this often. It's extremely rare.
Yeah. And it's crazy that, there are times in this run with like a few mistakes and a little bit of nerves and stuff like that. It's going to be like what we considered insanely optimized like just a
Mhm.
year or two ago.
Oh yeah, for
And no-
sure.
and notice how they didn't go for the bench over there with the King Station stag
Mhm.
and the relic.
Yep, they're going to be getting the Rafters seal later on, which involves a little skip, which we'll see. But both of them having clean, gorgeous husk kills and killing the husks on the way out, which is another optimization that we've added kind of recently. Just lets you get out of there. Like you get to farm a bit more soul going into the room because you pogo usually multiple husks at once. So it's just a tiny little thing that runners do now.
City movement is so mesmerizing to watch because like there's a
Yeah.
lot of moving factors like the husk guards here, and
Yeah.
these runners they practice it to a level where they can manage every pattern like almost as quickly. So there's like
Hmm.
nothing that's gonna slow them down here.
Yeah.
And
And
speaking of
if
things that's gonna slow them down, time for the Watcher Knights.
Watcher Knights, yeah. So Watcher
Yeah.
Knights RNG is going to be a really big factor, and also, of course, like how well the players execute depending on the RNG. So it's going to be exciting to see. This run has become like this fight has become so ridiculously optimized. Gwonkee getting a nice start. Oh, they
Oh,
actually
they
have the
both get a
same
good start.
RNG. Exact same opening pair. Oh, Skate taking a little hit.
That's what we call good tournament sync.
Yeah.
Notice how they're pogoing the Watchers like that to just stay on top of them and stay in a position where they can dash over and maneuver around them really, really easily.
Great, great second pair, or great first pair from Gwonkee. Really good RNG. And really well executed. Skate struggling a little bit more.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of an unfortunate pattern there.
Yeah, they were out of sync, so they didn't die at the same time. Usually you really want them to die at the same time. Gwonkee with a great fight, coming out of it with a 16-24.
I didn't really count the time they started, but that must have been a really good fight for her.
Yeah, that was a great fight. Really, really good. Oh, Skate definitely 12 seconds behind after that. That was a really big shift with that fight.
Yeah, unfortunate. That is just the way that this category goes when you're at this level. Now, I will say both of these runners executed that fight really, really well. Like, especially with the pressure and the nerves that comes from being in a tournament and fighting someone, but competing with someone at such a high level.
Yeah.
I think they both did wonderfully.
Yeah,
And
they
it's not uncommon that you see people unfortunately throw matches or lose matches because they died to Watchers or they messed up Umu. And so far, we're not seeing anything like that. I think they're both playing splendidly right now.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Um Gwonkee looked like she wasn't even in a race, just doing IL practice against Watcher Knights, no pressure at all. It was just extremely clean. Uh, Definitely. I mean, anything could happen later in the run. We have the Rafters skip coming up, so it's a 12-second difference, but that can easily shift in any time. Like
I'm
we will
wondering
see.
whether they'll opt to go for the safer Raptor skip, or if they're gonna go all the way with the full-on any percent crazy one, where you go from all the way to the right.
You know, like when people found the right side rafter skip, like the harder version, I gave it a try for like 15 minutes. I couldn't get it once. I just gave up. I'm like, no one's gonna do this stupid trick. And like
Here they are.
within a few weeks, of course, these players are doing it consistently and in runs. So of course, once again, I'm totally wrong. These players are insane.
Let's see it. Let's see how
Yep.
Gwonkee does with the rafter skip.
Let's see what she
Right
does.
here.
Going for it.
She is going for the right side one.
Oh,
Oh,
that's good.
Wonderfully executed. And see how she baits this flying Huskar to give her a nice favorable pogo. That is wonderfully executed on her part. Really, really nice to see. That is part of quite a scary part of the run now.
Very
Let's
nice.
see.
Skate's gonna go for it too because he knows he's behind.
Oh,
Oh,
and he gets it too.
Nice.
What a good match.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately,
Missing the
gets
pogo.
a little bit boinked by that Huskard there, but is able to recover it quite quickly. I think that's definitely a relief for Skate, if I were him at least, of being like, "Ooh,
like
I'm past this really scary part, and now I can just focus on catching up."
he's if he didn't get that, he might have felt like pretty out of the race, but now he's definitely still in the race, which is great. Like Umu's going to be a big deciding factor for sure moving forward, so we'll see. Where's Crystal Peaks? Also scary.
It's really just not over until it's over at this level. Like, literally anything. Like, whether it is Umu, or Crystal Peak cycles, or Beasten, or even the Hollow Knight itself. You know, at any second, something could go wrong. And,
Right.
getting good at this category is all about finding that consistency. Especially for a tournament setting. It's all about consistency. Like, these runners have been practicing and improving their PBs tremendously as well. But I think for this setting, the most effective thing is working on your consistency, and that's what they've been doing with all this IL grinding, because they're both timing out like these small little fraction of a second time saves all over the place to try to just polish their movement as much as they can, round out the edges. But they're also working to improve. Oh, Gwonkee almost buys the stalwart shell. Luckily, realizes and doesn't throw the run.
New any percent reroute.
That was scary.
I mean, it's just
Possibly
like you
the
said,
scariest thing so far.
every point in the run matters.
Yeah, it really
even,
does.
Even the shops.
I feel like a lot of runners can relate to the feeling of running a category and like not really paying attention, just having a good time, strolling around, having a nice little pace, and then oh, you scrolled too few times and didn't catch like the fact that you were buying the completely wrong thing, and then you're resetting.
Rancid egg
So
time.
we're lucky that we avoided that. It's
So now
real rancid egg
Gwonkee-
hours.
Gwonkee entering Crystal Peaks, about to get to the Pogax room. Players are pretty consistent at Pogax now, but you can still get bad RNG. Gwonkee getting Pogax. Skate's struggling a little bit in the infected Vengefly room, unfortunately.
Who doesn't, to be honest? That room sucks.
Right. Now going for a dog cycle. Let's see. Oh, just falling down a little bit.
Don't worry, it's just an RNG manipulation.
Yeah. She avoided
That
the
was
laser.
so well recovered that it looked like planned out.
Yeah.
It's like catching the next cycle super cleanly.
Now Skate going for Pogax now. Let's see how it goes.
Very nice.
Good.
Pog, may I say?
Pog. Yeah, Crystal Peaks is going pretty well for both of them.
They both showed just a clear mastery of these cycles. It's really impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see like how far Crystal Peaks has come. Specifically, like this has become such a hard split. In 2019, I considered this completely free. Like I'd turn my brain off and just rest before getting to Umu. But players have definitely found there's time to be saved in this split.
Oh, Gwonkee had a really scary last section there. Like she almost touched the spikes with the
Yeah,
scary dash at
underplat.
the end.
Yeah. Hog underplat.
Both of them going for Homophody Fireball. You love to see it.
Yep. And the point of that, for anyone who doesn't know, is to just stall yourself in the air. Because normally, like, there's a cooldown between each dash. So if you stall yourself in the air with a fireball, the dash comes off cooldown, so you don't lose any height between the dashes. So that's what the Homothety Fireball is for.
Doing it without the Fireball is cooler, though. I'm gonna
True.
stand on that hill until I die. Homophody, no Fireball for the
Oh,
win.
Gwonkee struggling in the drop room.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. She's gonna have to come into Umu with lower health now, which might be a little bit of trouble for her.
Yeah,
Um,
and typically runner's damage tank left side on the way to Umu, so we'll see if Gwonkee. Oh no,
oh,
misses the acid skip. Oh no.
yeah, that's nerves right there. Very
Yeah.
understandable. And I think she'll be able to recover this fine. Like, being on low health in these situations, it just happens a lot when you've run the category for a long time. But those hits on the jelly, such as that one, like there, with 2 HP, it's gotta
Oh,
be scary.
I was scared. We'll see if she takes the bench. Oh, not even taking the bench. Okay. I like the confidence. Probably C dashing here to avoid the damage tank. Smart. Now Skate, 5 HP, not having the same struggles, so that's definitely like he's going to be saving time on Gwonkee there.
So
Very
Gwonkee lost
nice.
probably a couple seconds on this segment against
Yeah.
Skate, who was going through quite cleanly. She does still have a pretty sizable lead. I think it's going to end up being around 10 seconds going into Umu. 3-second
Well,
difference going into Umu is what I'm
yeah,
hearing now from...
yeah, because of the missed acid skip. But the Umu RNG is going to make a pretty big difference here as well, potentially, as well as whether they get the 2 cycle. Really, the biggest swing in the run for sure.
Leah
We'll
up to
see.
not damage tank there. Probably an understandable move, but she does get the first cycle very nicely and
Oh,
is
good
able to get the
RNG.
soul she needs, which
Yep.
is quite nice. Now I think their next 2 cycles are gonna line up, so I don't really know where to look.
Monkey going for the 2 cycle right here.
Very nice 2 cycle, and
And
let's
Skate
see
gets the
Skate.
damage cycle as well.
Yeah, wonderful. I think we're gonna have some really beautiful Umu fights here from both of them, with
Yep.
obviously some RNG differences, but you can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. Umu
Right.
is just gonna be mean to everyone. That's just how they work. And let's see, Skate's second cycle here, coming in and
Nice.
finishes off very nicely. That's a 2 cycle from both of them.
Very good.
Very, very well done.
They're still keeping it pretty even. Oh, did Skate get the walkling storage? He
Oh, he did
jumped
it, yeah.
to get that? Did he just jump off the ground to carry the walkling storage? What? Wait,
Wait, haven't you seen that strat before?
no, actually I haven't.
Oh, yeah, they go through the gate and like get around it, and then they keep it all the way down.
Oh,
And
yeah,
because
yeah,
of
yeah.
walkling storage rulings, for no major glitches, as long as you can do the room in the same way, without walkling storage, you're allowed to use walkling storage to speed it up. So because of that, that's a little bit of a spooky little strat there.
Yeah. So Skate actually, it looked like he jumped off the ground to chain walkling storage because he was too low coming off the door. So like he landed on the ground and chained it to
Oh, that's what
continue.
he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we
That's
actually
that's what it
know
looked like anyway.
the timing for chaining those? Is it still like is it confirmed to be 1 physics frame? Because that's
I'm
the
pretty
number I was
sure.
heard.
Yeah.
It
So
feels
yes.
reasonable to be.
hmm Skate is 4 seconds ahead. So it actually swung in Skate's favor after the acid skip and Umu. But like once again, like we're going into another really tough split. Gwonkee going for QGA.
That's a little low, but she gets it very
Nice.
cleanly. That was a very, very low setup. It looked like, at least.
Wait, Skate just got comms on Umu
What?
in a run, in a race.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
This is some content we're getting. Love to see it.
Oh no, Skate misses QGA.
Second try? Second try. Okay, that's good.
Okay. Yep. So that
Second
means
try
that,
is fine.
yeah, things are like super even once again.
Oh, I'm at the
Holy
edge of my
crap.
seat.
Yeah.
It's gonna be constant, like, this is very scary until the end now. Because
Mhm.
now we really don't know. Gwonkee had a solid lead for a while, but now it's pretty much tied again.
Yeah.
So
And this is just a really, really punishing split. Of course, like they can quit out going into Beast Den because they're doing the devout skip, but like any mistakes in this split can still lose a ton of time. Oh, getting a little hard fall, Gwonkee.
both of them seem to be moving very well through these areas, though.
Hmm.
As I say that, I kind of comms cursed it. Skate dashed into the platform. I'm sorry, Skate. I didn't mean to.
Only a small
You're
time
doing
loss.
great.
No worries. But Beast Den is also going to be a really huge turning point potentially because it's just such a difficult split. And of course, devout skip, if any of the players miss that, that is really dangerous, really scary.
Yeah, that's another one of the big discoveries that has kind of shook this category recently, right? It's the fact that you can get the first devout skip pretty much consistently. There's been found a bunch of different setups for it. But as Fire said, if you mess it up, you're going to be in trouble because you're standing inside the devout, your iframes are running out, and it's probably doing something weird like backing up or charging at you. So at that
Yep.
point, that could spell real trouble for these players. And I don't know if Skate is going to quit out into Beast Stun. He's on 2 HP. That's a little low, considering the
Skate.
fact that there is one damage tank that they're going to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, Gwonkee opts not to quit out. Oh, oh, and gets
Oof,
it. Okay, good. Skate is
that was
definitely going to
scary.
quit out, I think. So he's going to be getting full health. But Gwonkee at 2 HP going through Beast Den, definitely really scary. This is a scary spot right here. Okay, because you can get hit by the spider and then also get hit into the spikes afterward, which you really don't want. Little hiccup here on that right side spider. And ignoring the
Doesn't
grub.
save the grub. You hate to see it.
You love to see it.
I disagree. We
But
are not
Gwonkee had...
having this argument here. Save the
Gwonkee...
grubs. That's all I'll say. Whew. And Gwonkee makes it through.
but like a decent beast den and did have the HP for the damage tank at the end, so Skate going for the devout skip. And the devout just backs up. Does mean you take 2 damage, but that also means you can't fail the devout skip, so
Yeah, the benefit that Leah had from not, or Gwonkee, I should say, for those unaware, the benefit she had for not doing the quit out was the fact that she got to retain her soul. As you're seeing, Skate has to kind of scramble to gather back soul for the last devout. By the end, he does it very effectively, though. Pretty excellent playing.
yeah, that was a really nice beast den from Skate. So like the quit out doesn't actually lose that much time. I believe it loses under a second, so that's actually really good for Skate. That'll
It's all
push
about the
him.
soul gathering, right?
Yeah, like
That's
as
the
long as you
real...
can gather the soul like cleanly, then it's not gonna be like a huge time loss.
And now we're coming over to the very end of the run. We're going to see Gwonkee do the Stag Firebell right there, shooting a fireball at the bell from outside the room to bring in the Stag a little bit faster. And she's going to be making her way to the Black Egg Temple right now, as is Skate going to do with a couple seconds of delay on the stream. It is really tied right now. I believe one of them is about 4 seconds ahead of the other. I don't know actually know who is ahead right now.
Yeah, I think Gwonkee's 4 seconds ahead of Skate, and you know, like THK is such a huge RNG factor, and of course, like execution's a huge factor as well. So anyone can win at this point. So really exciting to see them going into THK so even.
Yeah, it really is. We're getting such a good match today. And
Yeah,
Skate also had 251 Geo, just 1 Geo above the number that he needed to get that stag.
that is
Very, very close. That's what we call
calculated.
optimal Geo collection.
Yeah, he was counting the whole time.
Now, the people of the Twitch chat on the Hollow Knight community stream, can we have some Hollow Ds for these players as they enter the Hollow Knight fight?
Yes, please send your holidays to bless their runs. No parries. We want
No
absolutely
parries.
0 parries, all dashes.
Every Hollow D is
Oh,
1 less % chance for parries. That's how it
yep,
works.
yep.
And you have to keep it going through the entire fight.
Gwonkee getting a couple parries already. Like parries are a really huge factor in this fight, especially early on, and dashes are kind of the RNG that you want to see. And
What I find interesting about THK is that it's very much about a Goldilocks zone, because, you know, even too much of the best pattern is going to spell trouble for you, because if you don't have Soul, you can't do, like, a double hit Fireball on all all the dashes if you get, like, 15 dashes in a row.
yeah,
So it's all about hoping that you get a nice mix of everything, but hopefully as few parries as possible. And Skate is now starting up the fight as well. Gwonkee seems to be having a pretty solid fight. A couple parries, a few more than she
yeah,
would be hoping for, probably.
yeah.
But he is
Skate
doing a
can
wonderful job.
Skate can definitely save time on Gwonkee's first part of the fight, so we'll see how this goes.
Gets the scream skip. That was
Very nice.
very well executed. And she should be right about done with the fight. Nice dodge, and Gwonkee finishes
Very well
out the
played.
run. Now let's see
GG.
Skate.
Low 32. That is awesome in a race.
Now let's see, is Skate gonna win? Or is Skate gonna lose? It's all coming down to this THK. Might probably just come down to the scream skip at the end.
Yeah, it could definitely, like, if he doesn't get scream skip, it might actually spell the loss for him. And getting,
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate, having to dash all the way across the room.
yeah, all the way from the right side to the center, like, that is a great attack to get, but having to travel so far to get to it, to punish it, is not ideal.
And there
Scream
comes the
skip.
scream, and he gets
Nice.
the scream
Gets
skip.
it.
Oh,
This might actually mean, I think Skate might be a little bit ahead, potentially.
oh, it's
That's
so
a bad
close.
attack, though. That's a bad attack to get.
Oh, it's so close.
This is... Oh, I think...
Leah finishes out with a 32, 24, 28. Now is the question, is Skate gonna take it?
That's Gwonkee winner, right? I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Really, really close run, though.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Holy shit.
Wow.
3
was-
seconds.
That was
3 seconds
insane.
of difference.
And, like, the slam attack at the end, there was just, like, so many small things.
Oh my god. GG's to both runners. What a wonderful performance. Ending up within 30 seconds of their PBs. That is
Yeah.
fantastic for a tournament setting, especially considering the nerves and the pressure and all of that stuff. You know, it's really just so surprising that we got such a close... I mean, it's really not that surprising. These runners have time and time shown that they are incredibly capable to play consistently, even under pressure in a situation like this. But this was not what I was expecting. You know, I thought we
Yeah.
were going to get a close match, but we got a close match, so to say.
Yeah, like, top runners typically count how many 32s they get in runs. So, like, the fact that they both just got a 32 in a race against each other when there's so much pressure is just insane. That is awesome to see.
All right. We're going to wait a little bit, and then we're going to bring the both runners into the voice chat for a post-match interview of sorts. This is... Yep, there
Oh
we
my
go.
god!
GG's.
Oh my god!
GG's.
What?
Who's that? I got Comsob Umu.
I'm so mad about that, by the way. I'm so fuming. No. Okay, think about this. I entered Gross Drop, right? I entered grunts drop, and I got hit by the first guy, which was RNG, and then I got hit by,
Same.
it wasn't even a tick, right? Because I was still gonna make it past the tick cycle. I wasn't getting fireborn yet. And then another grunts hit me! I got hit by both!
Well, Gwonkee, I got the flow.
so
I got
cursed.
I went on the side of the platform, and then I got like the weird TFT thing where you like float on the platform.
That's a classic. Yeah, so I got hit. I lost 5 seconds to the drop, and then I lost another 6 to the acid skip messing. And then I got second worst Umo RNG.
You did so well recovering. Like both of you, I saw in the beginning you had a
Yeah.
little bit
Oh
of a
my god, I
shaky
was
start.
shaking. I literally pressed
Yeah.
Same.
inventory instead of pre-jump in dirt map. Did you see? Like I literally opened inventory in dirt map because I tried the pre-jump and I just pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, I can imagine the pressure, but you did so wonderfully. Like the fact that we got such a close match from you is honestly not surprising. You're so good at the game, both of you. Let's face it.
What was it close all throughout?
It was
It
close
was
the whole
pretty
time.
close. I think
Um,
Gwonkee got roughly a 15-second lead along the middle.
Yeah, like
wow.
at
see,
Watcher Night was
I got a
really
56 Watcher Nights.
yeah,
What?
Watcher
I
Nights
played.
was
Oh
insane.
my gosh, I played Watcher
was-
Night so safe because I
That was
didn't want to
the
die.
biggest swing for sure.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
108 fight.
I got a double stack, so
Wow.
I just kind of like that happened, and then I looked over and all my nerves were gone. I was like, I just have to play the game now. Like, and then I heard like someone comms were like, oh, and that's rough for skate, and I was like, okay. Like I just chill and hit rafters, like just hit it, and then I hit it. And I was like, okay, now I'm chilling. And then okay, that was actually PBable because of that Watcher Nights. It was still PB pace. It was actually world record pace into Sly, and then I selected Stalwart Shell in less 3 seconds.
Yeah, you were on a really good pace along the middle there.
And it was still technically world recordable out of Lantern until I had a horrible Crystal Heart followed by a horrible Umu. But yeah, QGA Trap Bench was really good. Din was, oh my god, I got lucky on the Vout skip. I don't know if you guys saw that,
Yeah, we
but
Yeah.
saw.
I got an early attack, and I am notoriously bad at backing up early attacks because I can't get the strat. I just don't really understand it, and it's hard to practice because, well, you have to get an early attack in practice, and that never happens unless you're on a run. And I got the early attack, and I messed up the strat, but then he just hit me, and I just got damage chained to the left, and I was like, I don't know why it worked, but I'm alive, and my run is not dead. So
Yeah.
that was.
I guess we'll do this one by one. So I guess we'll start with Skate. Skate, how are you feeling just in general about the match and the results, I guess, as well?
So I killed THK. I'm just like, okay, because I didn't have stream open, right? I gave my brother my phone, and so he was watching in another room because I didn't want him to watch me. And so I was just like, yes, dude. I ran to the other room, saw Gwonkee finish with a 32-24, and then I just started crying because I thought I played so good for the RNG that I got, and then
You did. You did. You kept it really close. Like
I would like to note that Gwonkee got 1 spit and you got 4 spits.
that's just it right there. I mean,
That is the nature of this category, unfortunately.
And that was the difference. There was pretty much no mistakes from there.
Also,
And
Skate
we got the
Brothers
same
here.
RNG
Hi.
and everything.
yeah,
Yeah, we
I told
noticed
you the
with your
boulders matter.
watchers. Like you had the exact same first watchers pair, and we were like, wow. What a
Wait, did
sync.
Skate have the really good stack first watcher pair as well?
No, I mean the first watcher, sorry, not the pair. I'm being stupid.
Okay.
The first individual one.
Yeah, I was scared going into that. I actually, other than the waffling storage, I missed everything in Chandelier went well.
Yeah. What about you, Gwonkee? How are you feeling just in general about, well, everything really?
My heart is still pounding because so I finished the race and obviously I have better loads. So I finished basically as Skate was opening up THK, and I was watching Skate, and then I hate to be like that person, but I realized how close it was, and I knew I had a 139 THK, so Skate needed like a 136 or something to beat me here, which is very attainable. Like he has a better THK than that in his PB, so but you do need good RNG for that to happen. And I was literally praying. I was like, THK, just give like 3 parries. That's all you need. just like 3 is enough. And
yeah, I
then
did get a
saw
bunch
like
of parries.
2, and I was like, okay, this is it. And then saw 3, but then he gave a fountain, and I was like, no, Skate 1. Like, because fountain saves so much time. If you get like the fountain attack where it goes up in the air, it's just like it's like 4 seconds faster than any other fight without it. Basically, it's so much. And so yeah, I thought Skate had won until THK just didn't die after Scream. I was pretty confident, and as soon as it crossed like 31:59, I was just like kind of ecstatic. I can't believe I won this race.
Yeah.
I was
You had
extremely nervous.
some really close calls. In particular, almost buying Stalwart Shell comes to mind. What
No,
happened?
I wasn't worried about that in terms of like buying it. I was just upset that I lost like the 2.5 or 3 seconds from selecting it because I'm
Mhm.
very familiar with that mistake. I did it in my 32:21. That would have been like 1 second off pest if I didn't do that mistake. Like in February or something this year, or like March or something. Um, and I recognized immediately that I selected that because I was really ready for it. I always just greet it and then own myself, but I selected it. I was immediately mashing escape, so I wasn't worried about. I wasn't too worried about selecting it, but I was upset because that was PB pace, like just barely, and then I selected Stalwart Shell. So
Yeah, understandable. But
I'm
yeah, we just
just
want to say that we're really impressed with how you both played, and you
Yeah,
gave us a really, really fun match to watch.
that was a blast to watch. So thank you both very much.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just completely blown away that I beat both Lep and Skate in the Swiss rounds. So that I was not expecting. I was expecting to honestly probably lose both. Um, if I played both. But so I'll be facing, I guess, Marcus or Axel in the next round. Um, and yeah, that's not gonna be a free match either. So it's gonna be. I'm scared, but
Yeah,
at
and
least I
there's
got
a
yeah.
large.
Obviously, Skate and Lep being the two biggest roadblocks in this whole tournament are
You'll
out
face
of the
each
way for
other
now.
in the top 16 by the end, probably as well, right?
Yeah, and the bracket we'll probably play again at some point, but
yeah. I'll see Gwonkee in winners finals.
Oh, the
I'll see you
Heck
in the
rematch.
winners
yeah.
finals, and then I'll see you in coming from the losers bracket in grands.
Yeah, unfortunate. I'm still surprised I was able to do statue code going to Crystal Heart.
Wait, in Crystal Heart?
Yeah, I missed a wall jump and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So I went right and then got hit again and then I don't know,
You
but
did
I lost 4
okay.
seconds in the first room. Yeah, I
You know,
did
I
statue
timed
code
it,
go.
and it's actually like you can lose like 0.1 to going right side there.
Oh really? Oh, but I got
Yeah,
like hit
if you go
earlier.
off the if you
It
go
was
off like
weird.
initially and I actually try to go for it,
Yeah.
you can actually like basically tie the room almost. It's really weird. It's just way harder though.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Anyway, I'm rambling.
That's all right.
I
So
guess
yeah,
we can
I
wrap
guess
up.
Skate, you're gonna be preparing to take down Gwonkee whenever you encounter again in the tournament. And Gwonkee, you're just gonna continue trying not to get beaten by people. That's how it
Yeah,
goes.
I think I'm gonna keep doing runs after this and just try to get a 31.
Oh,
That would be
nice.
um,
wonderful.
Good
This
luck,
is just your
Wonky.
warm up then.
yeah, this is the warm up. Just a light
Yeah,
skate,
yeah.
a light warm up against skate. Quick 30 seconds
Right,
before.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
if you keep playing like that, you can definitely get it.
Thanks. And good game, skate. It was fun to play
GG's.
a really close one. I've never really had a close of a tournament match before.
Yeah. Was that the closest one of the tourney, or was there a closer one?
I think so. There maybe might have been one other, but I think this is the closest as far as I know.
Yeah,
And there's
3
never been,
seconds is very, very close.
yeah, and both 2X's, which is really cool to see.
There's so
Yeah.
many factors going into like a run like this. So many different like variables that can affect your time and time losses, hard stuff, like really difficult and precise tricks. So getting such a close match is it's not every time, you know? Not every
It's
day you get to see something like
Oh,
this.
for the
yeah.
first time, that run put my average splits at a 32:29. So
Your
Damn.
average is rigged. You're rigging your average. Every time you get a bad run, oop, a redo split.
no, I don't. I finished like
Yes,
every
you
run. Have you seen
do.
me play early game? I'll literally
No.
continue like 5x cloaks.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, thank you so much as well, Fire
Yeah.
and Blue, for
Thank you,
commenting. That was
everyone.
really ton of fun. And thank you, Tim, for restreaming.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
Shout out the restreamer.
Shout
The goat.
outs.
Well, I guess we'll sign off then. Thanks so much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the race. I know I did. And yeah, have a really, really great day.
Yep. Bye bye, everyone. Thanks for
Thanks, bye.
watching.
Bye
And
bye.
GG's once again to Gwonkee and Skate.
Yeah. GG skate.
GG's.
Mm.